any luck this time, you folks are actually seeing the full stream. Now it's going to blink for a moment while I switch over. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. So the tutorial is just a bunch of click on this, walk here, click on this, maybe hit a few things, that type of stuff. Nothing fancy. It was a lot of fun, man. When I did this several years ago, you can see the graphics aren't exactly all that great. This was a game that died in 2012, and it feels and looks like a game that died in 2012. Let me actually get over to here. What's the catch? Hook me up. Oh, this is where I get all the specials. Cool. One of the things that the old game had was it had these things called veteran rewards, where if you played for long periods of time, you got special abilities and powers by default. And of course, I had all the veteran rewards they ever had because I'd been playing since launch. The biggest thing the veteran rewards did is help to pave over some of the more uneven parts at the beginning when you didn't have fast travel powers, when you didn't have a lot of attack powers. And so you would very easily get stuck where you would just be hitting maybe one or two buttons for a while, and then you would have three buttons. And it wasn't until you got into like the mid-teens, early 20s that you actually had enough abilities where it was fun. Now with these veteran rewards and what they've done with these test services, they essentially just give you all the veteran rewards. You can basically get all those powers back. So what I am doing is picking up the Sands of Mu, which is a neat little melee attack power that also does a little bit of an area of effect. The Undead Slaying Axe, which is a big ol' axe. The Black Wand as well. Now we need some pets. We're going to get the Dark Fairy pet. We're going to get all of our special sprint powers. Jump hack. Going to get Ninja Run. Everybody loves Ninja Running. Mystic Fortune. Okay, we're there. Move away from this guy for a little while. Go into my power bank so I can slot in Ninja Run, Sands of Mu, add that to melee, Ghost Slaying Axe, and the Black Wand. These initial powers lose their efficiency very quickly, but at the very beginning of the game, they're great. They help you do stuff, and it makes you feel a bit more powerful as well. So that's all done. That's all good. Oh, turn on Ninja Run, and there you see, as we assume the Naruto pose. Okay, return to Jimmy Darts. Leave. Talk to this guy. And all these guys are doing is just giving you the basics of what does what, how you play the game, and whatnot. Seeing as how I play this game a lot, I'm just skipping past it. So zip zap zuba. Talk to our Arachno soldier there. Click on the gate. Head on out. Oh, and there's that cool music. Now this is where you can start to see how the graphics haven't really gotten any better. Yeah. But hey, there's a guy there. Right. So next up, murdering people. Excuse me, it looks like next up is actually going back in here because I must have missed talking to somebody. Oh, I wonder why it's sending me all the way back here to this guy. I must have missed clicking on him earlier. Boop, 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 doop, boop, doop, boop. Clicking on the people. What's going on here? Alright. Hey, Sakai. Go here. Mission. Kill 2 people. Well, you never actually really kill people in this game. It's always you're defeating them. Shoot some fire. Oh, and of course I miss. See, I'm using all those veteran powers that I picked up earlier just as a way to supplement my attack chain. And we're done. Running back to here. Got our first set of inspirations, which are little buffs, little time-limited buffs, heals, accuracy, damage, defense, all the 9 yards and stuff. Ooh. With that axe, whack somebody in the face. Pull out my wand, whap somebody in the face, punch a couple of people, head back to the guy. And now we run across the entirety of the outside of this prison break. Just gonna keep running there. There's a guy with a gun. So this is just one archetype out of 14. Oh. And 2 powers out of a billion. City of Heroes was always great for its diversity of characters. You can be pretty much just anything you want it to be. You can be a Wolverine clone. Actually, the Scrapper or the Brute has access to, there is a Claws melee power. And there is a regeneration superpower as well. So if you want to be Wolverine or Sabretooth, you can do that. If you wanted to be a mentalist, a Professor X type person, there are psionic powers as well. Note the synchronize, putting hands on hips. Even though the game sunsetted in 2012, City of Villains, which was the first expansion for City of Heroes, came out a few years before that. So a lot of this, is even more dated than it looks. See, these textures are okay, but you have to remember as well, this is a somewhat upgraded portion of the original game. Excuse me while I beat up on these longbow folks. Longbow, kind of the shield of City of Heroes. And now we run around and we knock some more people in the face. Pull out an axe. Hit people with my fists. And keep on moving forward. And there is our first glowy of the game, at least this particular game session. This noise, I'm going to be quiet for a moment so you can hear it. that wom 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 noise. Yeah, after a while, that sort of haunts your memories. Running through these various maps, caves, or office buildings, or all kinds of places trying to find the last damn wom 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 thing, and nobody can find it, and you're running around in circles for 30 minutes till you finally find it. Oh, good times. So with that, we have finished the tutorial. So I am going to quickly do a little ninja flip, talk to our guy, enjoy that neat little guitar riff there, and we are going to head for Mercy Island, which is the first of the villain zones. When the game started, the villain zones were completely separate from the hero zones. There were a couple of places where the villains could go over, have PvP, that type of it. Yes, actually, this is for folks who played City of Heroes back in the day. What we're playing right now on this test server is I-24 Plus. The I stands for issue. City of Heroes always did their little content drops in what they called issues to keep the comic theme going. So issue 24 was the last issue. It actually wasn't the last issue that ever made it into the game. Issue 23 was the last issue that actually made it to live servers. Hey, I see. What? Yeah, that's right. Actually, that is a problem. Hang on for a moment. Let's fix that. Okay, you should be good now. Issue 23 was the last one that made it to the live servers before the shutdown. Issue 24 was actually on the beta test server and was weeks away from going live. They were just about to drop it onto the live servers. So this contains all the stuff from issue 24, which is a little bit more power proliferation, some archetypes getting different powers, and a few other things. There's also issue 25. The folks who got the private server, who had been running the private server behind the scenes for several years, found the bits and pieces in the code of some of this added content. Oh yeah, I see. It does look like it's frozen again. Weird. Yeah, even my preview's frozen this time. Right, that's one of the new things that they added into that issue 25, this Sentinel archetype, which is really, it's kind of the old Blapper hybrid archetype put into an actual, archetype. So it's blasters with much more survivability, but less damage. For what I was seeing people running through damage numbers, blasters are still the top, corruptors are still the second on the damage tree thanks to the Scourge, which is a special ability they get where they do double damage to enemies below 50%. And third on the list now through this is this Sentinel tree. Okay, I'm going to try something here. We're going to do this, and then we're going to do that. And I believe that has gotten us our screen back. Beautiful. Okay, where the hell was I? Okay. There we go. Now we got some speed. Yeehaw. Okay. And the flips. Okay. So, welcome to Mercy Island. A wonderful, drab, and dreary place full of lovely symbols of Arachnos. the arch villain who runs this particular section of the world and who is the leader of the villain factions. Mercy City is supposed to be this paragon of, Utopia City, but as you can see, it looks kind of, very, very World War II Germany-esque. Of course, thing is, if you walk right outside the gates of the city, well, here's what the rest of Mercy Island actually looks like. Yeah. Mercy indeed. Okay, so from here on out, the game pretty much continues apace. We level, which means we get ourselves a new ability. Yeah, this is apparently, they moved everything from that tiny little fort. You can actually, if I do the map here, they completely redid the zone. It used to be that you folks started in Mercy Island here, this section there, and then you worked through the ruined city up till you got to the actual main city itself. Somewhere along the line, they flipped it around. I'm not sure if this is an issue 24 or an issue 25 thing, but there you go. As you can see, we've got a City of Heroes, City Villain standard here, which is somebody randomly rocking out to their boombox, which is down there on the ground. But what I want to do is kill things, so I'm going to be running and following that nice little yellow arrow. Doing our flips and kicks, woo, to our guy. And this is our guy who's going to give us a mission to go click on some things. Welcome to low-level City of Heroes, City of Villains missions. Oof. Now see, this ninja run, which I've got, is actually something that is one of those veteran abilities, one of the stuff that came with the free-to-play cutover. Normally, you would not have this ability at level 2, which is where I was, and you would instead be walking around like this. There was a time back in the day when you were walking like this, maybe running a bit, you would have a run power, not something as flashy as this little aura, but running maybe this fast, until level 14 when you got your first travel power. Now, us kids, who are all spoiled, have access to Ninja Run from the beginning, so we can run around and get caught on things, and then try to find the little bitty piece of the Arachnos flyer that I can click on in order to actually get into it. The 2012 jank is real. It hasn't gone anywhere. This is what we got. Yeah, it was 23 that dropped the travel powers. Basically, all the pool powers dropped down to 4 so that you could get them a lot earlier. Plant bugs on flyers. Hey, there's some people. I'm gonna hit them. Okay, let's take a quick moment to reorganize my power pool a little bit. Now see, you hear it. You hear it somewhere. The wom 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 wom. There we go. Okay. There's another one over here. 2 down, 2 to go. Oh, great. Yeah, that's falling a crack right away. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, yeah, it's right into another one. Yes, I played this game for years. I know exactly what I'm doing. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, and that is 3. Ooh, it's a yellow guy. We're gonna beat on with him. I hear glowies in my sleep even at this late date. Hey, who knocked me, bastard? Eat black one, you chump. Yeah, you got to sign up again for the server. Basically, you just make a new account in the same place. Really? I had no problems when I finally did it. I couldn't get in until like about 11 o'clock or so this morning. Hang on, everybody. That's... Oh, because you're in his Keepa, not UK. Hold on. There we go. Gang's all here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I finally got in at about 11 and was able to recreate my account and recreate the server login. So, you suck. I don't know, man. They must hate you or something. Banned! And out. Creek. Okay. Where's my guy? Whoosh. Flip. Bonk. Whoosh. Flip. Bonk. Another quality of life change that they made is with all of your contacts, the people who give you missions, there a point in time comes when you don't have to run back to the person anymore, that they actually give you a phone number and you can remotely talk to them. It used to be that you had to finish almost about half of their particular missions that they offered before you were able to get that remote contact number to them. Now it's pretty much just you do the first couple and then boom, and you can just keep on running around. So now I get to go beat up on some snakes. Snakes in this game are not your friend. They are not happy. They just want to eat you. So we have to punch them in the face until they feel better. So here is a snake hole. And we're going to jump down the snake hole. Runs great on Windows XP. Alright, so we are now in a snake hole. Caves are very annoying because they suffer from lots of... Oop, where'd I go? Camera clipping. Joy. Alright, so we run around, and we run around, and we run around, and sooner or later we'll run into a couple of snakes. Ah, there are snakes. And now we punch the snakes. And then we light them on fire. Unless we miss. I said light them on fire. Ugh. Man, it is hard to find good help these days. And just occasionally hit him with an axe. Pop a heal. Run through cave. Hit snack. Enemy colors go by a fairly standard color scheme. White enemies are enemies that are on the same level as you. Blue is -1, green is -2, yellow is +1, red is +2, purple is, oh god, they're gonna kill you. Like that's an orange. he's pretty awesome. So I'm going to pop a couple of my inspirations. Now this would actually be a fairly difficult fight if I didn't have my extra abilities coming from the various veteran powers and stuff that they give you. As it is, you see, I already got my health taken down by over 50% just by that one guy. Pop a little health, pop a little health, pop a little D. Keep on running. Find more snack. Punch snack. Ooh, good. Need some endurance. All your powers use endurance. You only have a certain amount in your pool. So the more you're running around shooting people with fire, or in my case, missing them a lot with fire, the more your end goes down, and that's that blue bar at the top. Yes, I am running a fire radiation corruptor. Who occasionally punches people because, why not? Stop missing! Jesus Christ. Sigh. Just flat damage and debuff, basically. Fire's got, I think, 1 or 2 dots, but it's mostly just shoot you in the face repeatedly with fire. Okay, Matt. Get a case of the zoomies and flippies. It's actually kind of amazing how good this runs these days. City of Heroes was a notorious system hog back in the day, and even super powerful computers had issues with them. That was including mine. I think the last time I played City of Heroes, I was probably running a GeForce 260? But yeah, graphics were rough. And there are still a few graphical settings that crater the frame rate. I tried turning on all the settings up to max, including ambient occlusion, and the ambient occlusion alone tanked my frame rate down to 30. With that off, but everything else at max, solid 60 frames per second. And it's another snake hole, because the villains like snake holes. Thank God they talked. I would have completely missed them. And that's level 3. You can see how that guy immediately went from white to blue. Now, this being an old school type MMO, you don't get any new abilities until you actually level. I would have to go back to my trainer and get myself some new abilities. Although, actually, at level 3, I will not get any new abilities. I'm only going to be getting a couple of enhancement slots. Punch your snake in the face. Running around, punching snakes. And occasionally shooting fire at them. And using undead slaying axes. I do know that there was apparently a fairly massive change made to Wentworth, the auction house, where you didn't have to sell or buy a particular level of enhancement anymore. If you sold a level 16 IO damage enhancement, somebody could come in and buy it as a level 50 damage and IO damage enhancement for the commensurate price and whatnot. I don't even know if Wentworth's even live in this test version of the server, but it certainly would make my life a lot easier if that had been put in before we left. was always hunting for specific levels of IOs, especially the set enhancements for my particular build. Shut up, Glowy. Could be. Could very well be. Speaking of enhancements, it is about time I actually use a couple of mine. Run, run, run like a ninja. Okay. Call my guy. Wants me to go beat up on some more snacks. But in the meantime, we're going to go into our enhancement screen. So, these are my powers, all the various powers that I currently have access to. Love that inherent fitness tree. This used to not be like that. And so what we've got down here are enhancements, little buffs to everything. These red ones are for damage. They add more damage to a power. This one is a range. It makes a power go faster. Yellow is accuracy. Resist damage, immobilization, all kinds of stuff. Actually, I believe the inherent fitness pool was... I thought it was 21. I'd have to look it up. I know I think the wiki still has what they put in everything. Well, especially since the fitness pool, you have, as a character, you have your two power sets. You have your primary power set, and you have your secondary power set. And then there are a number of what they call pool powers. Extra sets of 4 powers that would give your character more utility. The travel powers are in there, like super speed for running fast has its own set of 4 powers. Flight has its own set of 4 powers. Fitness used to be a power pool that would give you, make you run a little faster, make you jump a little faster, enhance your health a little bit. But the reason why everybody bought fitness was for this stamina power, because it allowed you to recover endurance faster. And recovering endurance is how you fire powers. So the more endurance you have, the more powers you can fire. The more powers you can fire, the better you are. So everybody picks stamina. There's another power, actually, in the super speed set called Hasten, which is stamina, except it's for recharge. So every single power you have recharge faster. And for a long time, actually, about the first half of City of Heroes life, Hasten was considered mandatory for pretty much everybody. You would pick up the power, and you would, even if you didn't use super speed, forget it, you would ignore it, you would buy over it so that you could get Hasten, so that you could slot it with enough recharge so that you could have Hasten up constantly. And that was actually a big factor in what they called enhancement diversification, which is a big change to the enhancement system that they put in order to break up all of these mandatory builds, because builds, as Shikihiro was saying, it just became mandatory and you would always have to have it, and so build diversity started to suffer greatly. Enhancement diversification did not go down very well with the playing population when it happened. It was actually extremely unpopular at the time, and it took probably a couple of issues before people realized that what it did was, aside from promoting build diversity, was it also directly led to the invention system. We would not have had the higher level enhancements that you can forge, that you can craft on your own, or the set enhancements without the enhancement diversification. But those, because they weren't ready, it took several more issues before they could come in. So there was this period of time when it was rough. It was rough, and everybody's powers suffered, and you had to figure out what was good and what was again, but there's always ups and downs. That's enough talking. I want to get to killing again, so let's start slotting enhancements. You, good. You, good. More accuracy. Nothing else here I care about at the moment. Okay. Oh, goody, more snakes. As we ninja run. Yeah, we could talk for hours and hours and hours about the history of City of Heroes, how it went from a fairly player-hostile development team in the way of how they ran the game and how they divulged information and how they changed powers into a probably the most player-friendly development team I've been on I've had the pleasure of playing in an MMO. There was a big change in development staff. Essentially, the person who initially coded and ran the game left for greener pastures. The person who took his place had a completely different mindset on how the game should be run, and all of a sudden everything became much more transparent to the players. There was a time where we did not have, I'm going to stretch this out here so you can see it over here, this lovely combat log which shows you in detail how much damage you're doing to the second decimal place, what your to hit power is, all of this kind of stuff. We had no idea. People were guessing and data mining accuracy and range and power and DPS and all of that kind of stuff. And the new development team decided, hey, why don't we just show those numbers to the players? It doesn't hurt anything that they want to min-max for everything that they've got. Why don't we just do it? And so they did. And it was like night and day, really, when it came down to. The player base went from fairly hostile to the development team as well to open arms. And the development team never really stopped being that open to when the game shut down. I'm going to shrink this down here because that's a little out of control as we get down to it. Okay, so once again, we are beating up on snakes. Because that's what we do as a budding supervillain. We beat up on snake-like creatures. There are a ridiculous number of enemy factions in this game. Enemies as in people who you can punch and light on fire. Just when you begin, you don't see a lot of them, especially on the villain side. On the hero side, from the very beginning, you're introduced to 2 or 3 of the different gang groups. The robots known as the Clockwork, the zombies known as the Vazalok. And so there's a lot more diversity in enemies, and it feels a little bit more, interesting. Like you're not just running around in caves beating up on snake-like creatures all the time, which frankly does get a little bit old after a while, especially when you keep missing the snakes. Grumble, 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 grumble. Running around, shooting the snakes. Get in position so I can double punch snakes. Let's pop a health before I die. Bust out an axe. Pop another couple of inspirations because super. Aha! A cutscene. Dun dun dun. I mean, I make fun of it about that because it is kind of cheesy and whatnot. But all kinds of missions, not just these main mission tree ones that I've been getting, but all kinds of missions would have little cutscenes and stuff in them. Now, nothing was ever voiced. We were definitely not at that period of time when voicing became a thing. Oh God, I'm gonna die. Ooh, that was a little close. So let's take a knee. The colloquialism for the rest power, which is your quick healing power, was generally you were saying you were taking a knee. Because it's hard to see because, you know, I'm in a cave, but you can see my character down on one knee there. Okay, unrest and snick. Oh God. Well, that's another orange one here. Whew. So I'm going to guess, because of the levels of hitting, that this is a level 4 mission. No, this is a level 3 mission. It's just interestingly tuned a little bit higher than I would expect. Yes, the rest power could be slotted if you wanted to. I'm not exactly sure why you would waste the enhancement slots on it. But you could put more enhancement slots into it. As you gain levels, you gain more enhancement slots that you can put into powers. At the beginning, it's generally you will get 2 enhancement slots on every odd-numbered level until you hit level 40, in which case you start getting them 3. I mean, certainly, but there's not really all that much need for having a large recharge on rest. Generally, unless you're doing something, you know, stupid like me, which is running into the middle of a whole bunch of oranges and expecting that you're just going to womp on them. Oh, God! Sorry about that. Wrong button hit, but that's okay. Oh, good Lord. Yep, and that's what happens when you die. Man, it's interesting how they all aggroed on me. As a low level, don't have debt yet. You do start earning XP debt when you die. I believe at level 5? I think that's what this little thing is there. Okay, so, oh God, so slow, so slow. Turn on my travel powers again, please. Thank you very much. Oh, as long as I'm here. No, that's right, I am 3. Yeah, it is very easy to get in over your head and die horribly. Okay. Oh, did I miss a couple? Well, at least XP debt wasn't too terrible to work off, and in fact, they gave you reasons to work it off. In that was that one badge that you got for working off. I think it was something like 1 million in XP debt or 10 million in XP debt. It was something like that, but that was a badge that was part of a that actually gave you a fairly good temporary power, as I recall. Okay, back to the scene of my untimely demise. Okay, so we're going to go this way. Lighting snakes on fire is fun. And that is how you screw up and target a different enemy than the one that you were trying to target and possibly end up dying again. But we'll have to see what happens there. Dead again. It's okay. Think I don't have tab rebound to target nearest enemy. Oh, no, we want to run this way. I should hopefully ding level 4 when I actually finish this mission and don't get myself killed again. Pick up a new power and a new contact. Alright, here we go. Snack Cave, take 3. At least I got that last guy before he killed me. Nope, dead end. Okay. Where were we? At least I killed him that time. Let's head around this way. That was a lot better. Quick rest to get my health back. Okay. And now let's take out Snake Egg. Let's miss a stationary target. Good. Now those Scourge procs that you're seeing are the special class ability of the Corruptor. I think as I mentioned a little bit earlier, if your target is below 50% health, your attacks do double damage. Much better this time. Yes, and also having heavily played a brute as well in City of Villains. I mean, it's tough because as a brute, you want to just go. You want to just fight, because that's your class ability. The more you fight, the more damage you do. And so if you can keep that rage bar up close to max, you just murder enemies. But you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go. And if you're not able to fight, if everything else is killing things out from under you, you lose that rage bar. So, I mean, it's tough in that there is a lot of synchronicity between classes, but there's also a lot of issues you can run into. My main character, who I played most often, was a Force Field Energy Blast Defender, which is great. I am a wonderful support character. Pretty much nobody dies on my watch when I'm there, but I have to be very careful when I attack, because my energy blasts have inherent knockback and knockdown, and so everybody else can be lining up targets and preparing to fire off AoEs, and then I blow an enemy right out of the AoE, and then I get yelled at for doing that because I was a bad person. Die! Ugh, those Cobra hatchlings are the worst. Alright. Okay, and now comes the fun part. Somewhere in this map is a bad guy. I get to go find him. Okay. Now it looks like there is a branch way up here near the beginning. Run. Yep, there we go. Oh god, oranges. Just what I freaking needed. Yes, ding that 4. And we're out. Okay. Call my guy. Then we're going to go to our level contact. I'm going to get another power, and then we're going to call it an evening here, because I still need to go and eat some dinner. And we're getting on to about 8 o'clock here, Hawaii time. Hope to be doing this again tomorrow night, maybe, if my schedule allows. Keep running with our Corruptor here, training it for level 4. And we are going to pick up Accelerate Metabolism, which is one of the best buffs in the entire radiation emission tree. It's got a long recharge, but it increases, buffs almost everything important, and is, one of the best powers to have when you are running in a group. So once again, thank you folks very much for joining in, watching the stream. Please subscribe if you like what you are seeing. And we shall see you hopefully tomorrow.